Hey guys, what is going on? This is Pantsar Dragon, and today we're going to be doing a long-awaited UDYR guide for you guys. As if you guys didn't know already, I actually became the rank 1 UDYR in Season 9, according to leagueofgraphs.com. Also had a 70% win rate in Challenger, but obviously when you get into Challenger games tend to be harder, so the win rate will go down obviously. But you might be wondering, Pants, why did you main UDYR in Season 9? Why this champ instead of Nunu? Even though you didn't main Nunu, but yeah, this champion. Okay, so the story goes like this. I was playing a Smurf, and I was kind of like screwing around, and you know, I would just play UDYR, and I said, okay, what's so special with this champion? Like, why is he good right now? So I played him, and the thing is, when I play a champion, I like to learn about it. So me sucking for the first few games was actually really fun. And then I realized that I could get powerful and run around the enemy and do circles around them. I also could 1v1 everyone in the jungle, so that was really fun. But yeah, essentially I just mained him because for the first like 10 games, I was trying to learn him, but I was having a lot of fun. Obviously, as we're looking at other UDYR players to see what they're building, etc., I've actually come up with like my own preference, best build in my opinion, for playing UDYR at like Challenger level or whatever. Also, if you are going to be comparing me to Trick2G, I'm going to say he is a better UDYR player. It doesn't matter if he's playing in whatever level. The fact that he's been playing the champion longer than I have means he's more comfortable with the combos of UDYR and what he should do in each situation. The only thing I have to offer as an UDYR player is how to play the map with UDYR at a Challenger level. So let's put it this way. Trick2G can play certain situations better than I can, as well as Willie P, who's also a high elo UDYR player. So what I'm trying to say is, if fusion was a real thing from Dragon Ball Z, and I fused with any one of those players, I probably could be something like Goku and Vegeta fusing into one human being to become the ultimate UDYR player. Fusion! Ha!
Whoa, it worked!
Wow, feel that? What power!
Unfortunately, we don't have fusion in real life, so we'll just have to settle for me. Also, I do apologize for the mic changing in and out with two different mics, but I'm currently not at home. Yeah, that's it. So some parts of this video will be made at home and not at home. With that being said, enough of the intro. You guys have heard enough about that. What you guys want to know is how to play UDYR. How do you play UDYR at a high level? What are his builds? What do you do in situations? What are his combos, etc.? This champion is definitely a niche champion. When I first played him, I didn't understand why this champion was good. In my opinion, I thought he sucked ass. I still kind of do think he sucks ass, but that's because I always thought I had to team fight with him. You remember? Back in Season 5, 6, 7, everything was about team fights. Well, there is a different way to play the game, and that's how I'm going to show you how to play UDYR. So first up, we're going to be talking about the builds. For skill order, I max out Q, because that's the better form, as Phoenix Stance got nerfed a while ago. But I usually go Q, E, Q, and then I max out Q, and then E. I don't take a point in W at level 3 because Turtle Stance doesn't really help you do clears. Plus in the early game, you're not going to have the mana to switch between 3 forms. That's a lot of mana, even with blue buff. For runes, it's something like this. You need tenacity, because if you get CC'd, well, you might die. But if you have tenacity, you can run circles around the enemy. If they don't have any CC, you can just go the attack speed rune instead of tenacity. Conqueror versus pressed attack, I've realized in a damage test that Conqueror is better over 5 autos, but pressed attack is good in 3 autos, and that's about it. Conquerors are so good right now. It's like old fervor, and also you can duel people harder in the mid and late game. So yeah, Conqueror is the better rune for most bruisers. Now, if we're going to be talking about Aftershock UDYR or Phase Rush UDYR, I'll be honest with you, I haven't tried Phase Rush, but I have tried Aftershock, and I don't see the point of using it. I'm not going to be team fighting, so why should I get Aftershock? And if I'm going to 1v1 someone, I'm going to have Conqueror, which kills them faster. Aftershock makes me tankier, but I'm not trying to be a tankier. So yeah, I don't have an opinion on Phase Rush yet, but I feel like I need to kill people rather than kite them and have utility. Now you're probably wondering, what is the build you go on UDYR? There's a lot of variations of UDYR you might see in League of Legends, but this is the one I prefer the most. So the main core items is the Skirmisher's Warrior and Trinity Force. If I go anything else besides those items, well, to be honest, I don't have fun. That's the only reason why. I don't feel like I'm having fun. But the components you should go is Phage and then Stinger. Sheen is okay, I guess, if you're going to be fighting more, but Stinger is just good good overall because you're going to be clearing faster, proccing Conqueror faster, and I mean, Sheen just gives you that, like, extra damage, but the mana doesn't really help you. You're gonna hog all the blue buffs anyways. Boots, Merc Treads, or Ninja Tabby, up to you. The fourth item is either Steric's Gauge, Dead Man's Plate, or Adaptive Helm, but most of the time it is gonna be Steric's Gauge. I will buy a Tiamat after Trinity Force if I need to split, if I need to be the designated splitter. That's also why I have Red Smite, because I constantly want to fight people. You might be wondering, Pants, why don't you just buy Tiamat like when you're in the jungle? Well, to be honest, I don't want it because I'm not going to play farming UDYR all day. I want to fight. So that's why I don't go Tiamat. Farming is not my style. Fighting the enemy jungler is my style. So I need items that won't do AoE damage, but will kill him faster. So yeah, I just buy Tiamat just to clear waves and try and get into their base after Trinity Force. Trinket, you can go Sweeper or Warding Totem, it's up to you, but honestly from my experience, I actually enjoy Sweeper more. It gives me so much pressure, and that's what I like doing on UDYR, is pressuring the map. Now Pants, what about ZZ Rap Portal? Do you like that item? Yeah, I do, sometimes. I only get this item usually maybe after Baron, and I'm not ahead, I'm like behind, I'm 1 in 5 or something, and my job from that point is to be annoying. My job, you know, is to kind of split, but also piss off the enemy. So what I'll do is run around circles and distract them, while also being tanky because of the stats that this item gives. It's really good if you're trying to itemize against magic damage plus physical damage. It's also really cheap, and the Raptor Cloak is actually so good on this champion because no one can catch you. So I usually buy it when I'm behind, and I need to cause chaos around the map. Anyways, enough about the build. Let's talk about pathing, combos, and how to play the early game, mid game, and late game. So the pathing I usually do is either 2 paths. I do red buff, gank top, scuttle, the next scuttle. Or you can do blue buff, gromp, and then scuttle, and then other scuttle. You can still duel most junglers, even with just blue buff and they have red buff. So it doesn't really matter you did the blue buff path. The only thing you miss out on is an opportunity to gank, but honestly the red buff to gank path is pretty cheesy, while the blue buff gromp path is more efficient, because by the time you're done gromp, scuttle comes up and you can do that, so you're up a camp. Make sure your lanes have prowl. If not, they can back you up when you're going to be fighting for the scuttle, because 2v1s are bad, but most 2v2s you should win. But after the 2 scuttles, I usually go to my red buff or the other buff, or if I see an opportunity to gank, then I will. At that point, it's kind of usually adaptive pathing, which means you adapt to the situation and you do what's most optimal for your situation. One thing I don't usually do on UDYR is the chicken camp. That is, unless that's the only thing I can do, then I'll do it, but like, it's pretty rough since you don't have much AoE. Now, here's the thing, once I get my Skirmisher Saber, my Stalker's Blade, whatever, I will make a play around Dragon. I want to solo that Dragon. It's really good. Why are Dragons good in Season 9? Because they're so powerful than in Season 8. Also, the thing is, with bounties, you guys know how the bounty system works? Well, dragons don't count towards bounties, so you're more powerful from these stats, but hey, you don't have a bounty. That's why dragons are high priority. I even value them more than Rift Herald. So yeah, once you have Talisman and Hunter's Machete or whatever, you can actually do Dragon. You can do it as early as level 4, and you just alternate between Q and W. By the way, if you're new to UDYR, a quick tip to doing camps is keeping your monkey agility stacks up to 3. If you do have Talisman, you can honestly just keep it up entirely. It doesn't matter if you go to 0 mana because it'll recover eventually. Secondly, always try to get 2 procs of your Tiger stance on 1 camp before switching to the other stance. That's how you optimize DPS while sustaining your stacks on monkey agility and having 30% more attack speed. But yeah, I know the feeling of being new to UDYR and having low hit point all the time. It is definitely because you're probably clearing with them inefficiently or doing the wrong camps. Also, by the way, if you do want to see me play UDYR and learn all the basic stuff, just catch me on my live stream at fb.gg/LegidragonLOL. I'll definitely be streaming there and trying to get rank 1 with UDYR, especially when the rank resets. There'll be a link in the description below for you guys to check out. Alright, so next up, let's talk about early game. So every game is quite different. I'm not really going to tell you what you should do every game because, you know, things change up. But you should definitely do my path, the blue Gromp Scuttle path. What I will tell you is the mindset of an UDYR player and how you should play him. The way you should play UDYR is be aggressive, fight the enemy jungle whenever you can, annoy the fuck out of the enemy team, fight constantly. If you shut down enemy jungler, you kind of win the game, most likely. You might see in my videos that I'm always getting first blood at their blue buff. Some people say it's a cheese, and the enemy jungler doesn't expect it, and you're just abusing this strategy, so if it doesn't work, you're fucked. Well, no. It's more like the enemy jungler knows what's going on, because I'm sitting on a ward doing the other scuttle crab, but he can't do anything about it, so he tries to fight me and ends up dying, because I'm UDYR. But a lot of players don't know what UDYR does, because it's such a one-trick niche champion, you know what I mean? He's got a huge surprise factor that a lot of people aren't familiar with, since his damage is actually pretty nutty.
Yeah, I've got
Sounds like he knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm right here. Go left. Did we go UDYR? Did we go UDYR?
Yeah, UDYR.
Okay. Let's do it.
Is that enough?
Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, man.
No, we don't have enough. Dude, he just stood there and auto grass.
Yeah. I'm surprised it's strong enough, honestly.
But yeah, in the early game, I play with the mindset of contesting everything. If the enemy jungler wants that, that's mine now. If someone oversteps where they shouldn't be, then that's a free gank and I'm going to kill them. That dragon is also mine, and if you try and contest me with that dragon, I'll kill you. Of course, if you don't have lane prow, well, you have to kind of play a backseat for a little bit because you don't have winning lanes or lane prow. So the game is a little bit difficult, but if you do have lane prow, the game is so easy for you to run over.
Oh, what the fuck? I thought we had.
With all that being said, you have now mastered how to play UDYR in the early game. Because that's how I played her. It's super simple, and it works for me. If you plan on farming your camps with UDYR, you're not playing UDYR correctly. UDYR is not a farm champion. If you want to play Farmville, play Master Yi, play Karthus. There's a reason I don't go Tiamat on this champion in early game. Because remember, everyone is your bitch. Alright, mid-game mindset. So, I'm going to try and break this down into 3 ways, you know, if you're behind or ahead, or you're in between. So if you're ahead, well, this is pretty easy. You have to contest every neutral objective, take all objectives, etc., get into his jungle, take his jungle, because it's your jungle now, contest everything you can that is contestable. You know, if it's not contestable, don't go for it. But UDYR has a lot of movement speed because of his passive and bear stance, so him getting around the map and snowballing his lead is super good, just because of how much movement speed he has. You'll know your limits after a while, so it'll take some time before you become a master of UDYR in the mid game, but I'm sure you'll get there eventually. One thing that you might not want to look for when you're ahead is team fights. That's how you can thoroughly. UDYR isn't the best in team fights and going in first. He's more of a cleanup champion and skirmisher fighter. So you're not going to go in 1v5, dive in with bear stance, and then suddenly die. That's not how you play UDYR. Your job is to kite around fights, make sure they're being cut off, maybe flank or something like that. But number one thing you shouldn't do is bear stance and expect someone to die if you're going in 1v5. And then suddenly they all focus you because, yeah, you poked your head in a bad spot. Alright, so what's the mindset if you're like balanced, like you're 3-3, and you're not doing so hot, but you're not inting? Okay, let's just say you're slightly behind, like it's pretty even, but you don't have that much pressure, or that means pressuring you. You can't walk into their jungle anymore because they can catch you. So what you can do is like, you know, do what you can do is either push out waves, try and make the enemy chase you, like, I don't know, you're just trying to cause chaos and waste the enemy's time while your team does something else, I guess. But I guess if your team is ahead, honestly, maybe if your Jinx is like 9-0, you can still do all the stupid shit that UDYR does, but your priority should be kind of maybe to babysit her. Think about it this way, you have assassins like Aurelia and Jax trying to jump on her. Well, they can't jump on her if you're in bear stance beside her, because they'll just honestly die, right? So at that point, you can be a peel bot and kind of be your team's bitch. I don't do this much because I'm usually ahead, but if I have to, I'll definitely be my team's bitch. Now, let's say I'm in a mid game where I'm 1-10. At that point, bro, honestly, at that point, you can do whatever the fuck you want. It's probably better than doing nothing because UDYR is not a fun champ when behind. Well, actually, he kind of is. He can still draw pressure. He can create chaos because, like, you can't kill him. He can run away with his bear stance. So try and go into a mindset where you have to cause pressure. I need to pressure the enemy to go pick up this wave, or I need to distract the enemy from my team and let him chase me or something like that, you know? Just cause chaos. Be super annoying and let your team do whatever they want. now we're gonna be talking about the late game mindset. Right now in League, games usually end around 25-30 minutes, you know, after the first Baron. If there ever is a late game with UDYR, that's pretty impressive to be honest. But there have been times where I've hit 40-minute games with UDYR, so let's talk about those games. When you're late game UDYR and I guess you're like 6 item, 5 item, there's no correct answer. At that point, it depends on your comp. So if you win team fights, hover your team. If you don't win team fights, split forever and go for picks. If nobody can 1v1 you, but you don't win team fights, split forever. If you don't win team fights and you can't even split push and win 1v1s, go play Apex Legends.
Victor again! Victor again! Oh!
With that being said, that's how you play early game, mid game, and late game with UDYR. Those are the mindsets I usually have. The rest is just how good you are as a player and how good you are with playing UDYR. Alright, next up let's talk about his tricks and tips, combos, etc. So one trick you can do with UDYR is at the beginning of the game, just press Q. If you're ever in some level 1 skirmish or whatever, or just doing your blue buff, what you can do is you can auto, and then Q again so you get 2 Tiger Stance procs. It's a really good combo for when someone face checks you, and then you can just run them down with Bear. Another tip is to ban Jax. That champ counters you. If you are planning to play UDYR, ban Jack. Another bad champion for UDYR to face is Pantheon. You know what his passive does? Ooh, it's bad. But I mean, you do outscale him. Another one's Jarvan, and Jarvan is becoming more meta in the jungle at the moment. So it is kind of annoying to deal with because if he does catch me out, I have to flash out. But I still like facing him because I can beat him at all points. It's just if he traps me in his ulti and his team is there to back him up, well, yeah, you know what happens. Rek'Sai is also a champion that can duel UDYR at level 3. He's like the only champion that wins every level 3. Unless he face checks you, which will never happen, then you win, but that'll never happen. So yeah, picking UDYR into Rek'Sai sucks sometimes. Now I bet you're wondering, who is UDYR good into? Dude, he's good into everything. If the enemy has CC, you got double tenacity. If the enemy has a weak jungler early like Sejuani or Zac, he's your bitch. If the enemy picks a dueling jungler, well, I mean, you're playing UDYR, no one outduels him except for Rek'Sai. The only thing that can stop UDYR from going rampage is having bad teammates. Alright, with that being said, thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, streams will be on Facebook because I'm partnered with Facebook. So if you guys want, check it out. Link will be in the description below. And yeah, hopefully you guys learned something about UDYR today. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
You can turn this. Yo, all these fucking Ornolds. Yo, are you... Yo, go back! Wait, go back! You boys, we need to go back! Yo, we're actually gonna fucking lose. Did we actually just lose? We fucking lost! Are you serious? We fucking... How did Lissandra die?